Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's Lair. I'm your host, Larry the Chupacabra, and we're here today to check out some select items from E3 2016, and the game that I'm most excited for that has been delayed into 2017, which is actually somewhat disappointing to me, is Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a PlayStation exclusive, though I think it may end up coming to PC. That's what most exclusives are doing now. And Horizon Zero Dawn is a weird futuristic game where, like, something's happened in the world, and there was some sort of cataclysm, probably a war, and now the world has reverted to a very primitive state, a very tribal state, but there's a whole bunch of flippin' robots that do all sorts of animal-y things, like some future super advanced robots got loose and they started to reproduce and rebuild themselves and develop their own unique ecosystem, like these shell beasts here that all have various different components that you need to craft different weapons, to craft different upgrades, and to progress throughout the story. And this is something that I was really looking for from the Rise of the Tomb Raider game. Some open-worldiness involved with a mystery that I could really sink my teeth into and explore. But I didn't really get that. But this game seems to involve a whole lot of that stuff. You got all these crazy advanced robots, and you've got your own set of, like, steampunky style weaponry where they're kind of cobbled together from all of the different bits and bops that exist within the world, and you've got to use these to survive, and you also have to unravel a particular mystery. Our heroine has to figure out, like, what is causing these weird beasts that we're about to see here in a moment that are corrupting all of the robotic wildlife. Something is going on, and there's also a component that is brought on by the trailer that implies that our heroine might not actually be somebody from the modern day, and by modern day I mean like the future where everyone's barely above caveman status living in tribes. She might in fact be the daughter of one of the people that created these machines back before they got loose and started to evolve on their own. There's sort of like this almost Studio Ghibli, Castle in the Sky kind of storyline where something happened a long time ago and there's like this ancient secret and these weird crazy machines that are kind of coming back to life from the past, and you gotta put them back to sleep or kill them before they mess up this sort of symbiotic relationship that humans finally found with robots and the Earth. And there are a lot of old human ruins inside of Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, there's all these hints at stuff that used to happen, and this deeper old mystery of people that took it into their own hands to reshape the future. So what we're gonna see now is the fact that there's two kinds of animals in this game. There's regular animals that you use for meat, and then there's also robotic animals that use their various skills and such to feed off of the land and to reproduce and fuel up, as it were. And now this woman is gonna go and capture one of these long riders or long strider elk-looking things, and it's basically a robotic elk deer thing. And then she's got like a staff that can hack into the machine using some weird sort of nanite tubes and take it over so that it's like their pet. And it implies in this game that those observer raptor things back there are often captured and controlled by the people that live in this valley to serve as watchdogs for their village. And here we've got the, I mean, you know, you can't escape Verizon and AT&T even in the future. They've just evolved into these long-necked, sort of telephone pole type giraffes here that are the new cell phone towers. And here you've got a few of these snarfing, digging, like, kind of look like ostrich, almost giraffe deer things But I really like this. It's a world that you really feel like you can explore, and from the developers, you definitely can go to a number of different areas in this world and track around before you even go down the main storyline. So now we're going to get to see what is the primary antagonist here. Now, this robot looks a bit different than the other robots in the game. It's corrupting all of the wildlife and turning them into heinous weapons of war. They've got, like, weird, corrupted, like, nano tentacles coming out of them. And if you look at this thing, it doesn't look like the rest of the wildlife. It looks like an ancient mech from, like, a war or something. And as it happens, the combat in this game is dynamic enough that you actually have to pay attention to the weaknesses of these creatures as you scan them over in almost an Assassin's Creed-like sort of predatory instinct-like overview. So the goal here is that the woman is trying to destroy this thing before it can finish corrupting all of the wildlife in the valley and turning them into weaponry. And it's such a bizarre mechanoid. It's kind of unleashing a mystery about what happened to humanity, to the ancient ones that used to rule the world, that led to everything becoming a robot. And this is what I love too. This almost reminded me of fighting in Shadow of the Colossus, where you got your horse aggro and you had to fight around the different creatures in the environment, trying to stay alive before they crushed you. And the combat in this is really what I was looking for more from Rise of the Tomb Raider, as opposed to just hiding behind stuff and just having lame firefights. It's almost reminiscent of, say, the simple yet raw combat style of, like, Dark Souls, where you really have to hide behind things. You have to use the environment and dodge out of the way and pay attention to what the enemy is telegraphing. And of course, using your tools like this harpoon gun to sort of anchor them into the dirt so you can finish it and kill it. And it's got a little bit of the pieces from both, like, fighting animals and also fighting machines. It's an interesting cross-section, and I'm looking forward to this game. It looks great, and it's got that really weird sci-fi nostalgia that I look for. Because, fantasy is all well and good, but at the end of the day, I'm a guy who likes robots and likes the sci-fi. And, it's got that sprinkle of fantasy that just kind of, it's like a cherry on top. So I'm really looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn. We got to see this gameplay first look from E3 2016. And it's looking pretty good. Now, there is a weird mystery and stuff, so we'll just have to see where that goes. Hopefully the story is as engaging and the world is as deep as I'm hoping it will be. So that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys and gals later. I will probably put out, like, the trailer for this game, along with this little kind of preview review from my eyes as we go along. So that's it. Have a good one, everybody, and toodles.